Let's name every NBA team's best three-point shooter all time. Now there are a number of factors that go into each pick, from three-point percentage to total threes made and the type of shooter they are. Are they a catch-and-shoot shooter who can only hit wide-open shots off a pass, or can they shoot off the dribble? These will all be taken into consideration. Without further ado, let's rebound onto that list. The best 76er all-time three-point shooter has to be Kyle Korver. While Allen Iverson leads the 76ers all-time with most threes made at 885, Kyle is in third place with 707, and he did it in less than half the time with much better efficiency, as Kyle spent 5 seasons there compared to Iverson's 12. Kyle shot over 40% for his entire career. And while Kyle is mainly a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter, this man can hit threes at any given moment and made an all-star team specifically through his three-point ability. The Bucks' best three-point shooter all time is one of the best three-point shooters period, and that's Ray Allen. Ray is a career 40% shooter who can shoot under pressure and is second all-time in total threes made with 2,973 three-pointers. The Bulls' best three-point shooter has to be the most efficient three-point shooter in NBA history, and that's the coach of Steph Curry, Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is the all-time three-point percentage leader, shooting at 45.4% from deep. The Cavaliers' best three-point shooter is undefeated in every three-point shootout he's ever participated in, and that's Mark Price. Mark shoots over 40% from beyond the arc, while LeBron James and Kevin Love have more total threes than Mark, with LeBron's 1,251 and Love's 1,027. Mark did hit 802 threes in just 9 seasons, and was taking a lot of tough shots as he was the team's starting all-star point guard. The Celtics is a really close call between Larry Bird and Ray Allen. You can't go wrong with this pick, and you can make a great argument for either player. Bird is clearly the better overall player, but if we're going specifically off of three-point talent, the choice has to be Ray Allen, who is simply one of the greatest three-point shooters regardless of team. The Clippers' best three-point shooter all time is JJ Redick. Eric Piatkowski is a close second, as he does have more total threes and is first all-time for the Clippers with 738 threes. JJ is second all-time with 674 threes, and he did it in way less time. He did it in about half the time, just 4 seasons, compared to Eric's 9 seasons. He also did it with better efficiency. JJ shot 44% playing with LAC. The Grizzlies' best three-point shooter all time is a close call between Mike Miller and Shane Battier. Both are great choices, you can't go wrong here, but my pick is Mike Miller, as he made twice as many threes with slightly better efficiency in roughly the same amount of time. The Hawks is a close choice between Trae Young and Kyle Korver. While you can argue Trae can hit deeper shots and takes much tougher shots, as he does shoot off the dribble, he's just a tad bit too inefficient when compared to Kyle's three-point ability. Plus, Kyle broke a record while playing with the Hawks. Kyle broke Dana Barros' record by making a three-point shot for 90 consecutive games. That's quite impressive. For that, he gets my pick here. The Heat has a ton of great options, from Kyle Lowry, Mike Miller, and Shaq. Well, maybe not Shaq, but you get it. My pick here, though, is Ray Allen, and while Ray only spent 2 seasons in Wade County, his three-point ability was greatly valuable for this team, as he hit one of the most clutch threes in NBA history in Game 6 of the NBA Finals against the Spurs. As for the Hornets, we have the father of Steph Curry, Del Curry. While Kemba is the all-time three-point leader for the Hornets with 1,283 total threes, Del is second all-time on this list and shot much more efficiently at a rate of 40%. And in the best three-point shooting season of his career, he shot an insane 47% from downtown. He has a total of 929 threes with the Hornets. For the Jazz, it's a super close call between Kyle Korver and Joe Ingles. While Kyle, you can make the case as careers in general as the better three-point shooter, for the Jazz specifically, Joe shot at a very similar rate but made so much more threes for this franchise with a total of 1,071 threes. The Kings is without question Peja Stojakovic. Buddy Hield is a really close second, as he does lead the Kings all time with total threes at 1,248 and counting, but Peja is a way more efficient shooter, and he's second all time with a total of 1,070 threes, and I would argue that Peja took way more tougher shots, as he was playing winning basketball as one of the team's leading scorers and all-star with the Kings. During his prime, he was heavily guarded by opposing defenses, yet he still shot over 40%. The Knicks' best three-point shooter is Allen Houston. While John Starks leads the Knicks all-time with 982 total threes, Allen is second all-time with 921 total threes, and he's a way more efficient three-point shooter, shooting over 40%. Plus, he's a two-time All-Star and hit tough threes during his prime. John is a one-time All-Star and shot a solid 34%, which is nice, but it's no 40%. The Lakers is a tough call. While players like Kobe Bryant and Derek Fisher lead the all-time leaderboard for most threes, as for the specific three-point shooting ability, Kobe and Fisher were above average three-point shooters. They were good, not great, at three-point shooting. If we're talking about hitting the deep ball specifically, my pick here is Byron Scott, who was 4th all-time in Lakers threes with a total of 595. In his best Laker three-point shooting season, he shot over 43% from downtown and overall shot 37%. The Orlando Magic's best three-point shooter on opposite day is Shaquille O'Neal. I'm not going to tell you when's opposite day, it might be today, but we'll save that for a later video. So my pick here is Mike Miller, who shot over 40% from beyond the arc, and his three-point shooting ability helped him win Rookie of the Year with the Magic. The Mavericks' best three-point shooter has to be Dirk Nowitzki, who is probably one of the best three-point shooting big men in NBA history, period. Not only is he the Mavs three-point leader by a mile and a half, he shoots 38% in his career and takes a ton of tough shots as the #1 scoring option. He also has a ton of clutch threes. The Nets' best three-point shooter has to be Joe Harris, who not only leads the Nets all-time in total threes, he shoots a crazy 43%, and in his best season, he shot an absurd 47%, and he did that twice in 2 separate seasons. Anything is possible. The Nuggets' best three-point shooter is J.R. Smith. J.R. is second all-time for the Nuggets, can hit heavily guarded shots, and he shot 40% in his best Nuggets season. He's 38% all-time from downtown. The Pacers' best three-point shooter is without question Reggie Miller, who's one of the best three-point shooters, period, regardless of team. The Pelicans' best three-point shooter is Peja Stojakovic, who is second all-time to Drew Holiday's first, but he's a way more efficient shooter compared to Drew. The Pistons' best three-point shooter is a tough call between Joe Dumars and Mr. Big Shot Chauncey Billups. While Joe is the Pistons' three-point leader with 990 total threes, that took him 14 seasons. Chauncey is second all-time, and he made 890 threes in just 8 seasons. Mr. Big Shot takes a ton of tough shots and shoots around 39% from downtown. So for that, he gets my pick. He's not just a catch and shoot shooter, he can shoot off the dribble and create his own shot. The Raptors' best three-point shooter is easily Kyle Lowry, who is one of the best three-point shooters regardless of team. This needs no explanation. The Rockets' best three-point shooter has to be their MVP James Harden, who is third all-time in total threes with 2,593 pointers and counting. Just not for the Rockets though, they're counting for other teams. The Spurs have a ton of great three-point shooters, but I'm picking the player whose three-pointers led the Spurs to one of the best three-point shooting finals in NBA history, and that is Patty Mills during the 2014 NBA Finals. Patty shot 56% from downtown in that series and had some games where he was shooting over 66%, and overall he shoots around 40%. That was a crazy series. He's a great three-point shooter, thus he gets my pick. The Suns' best three-point shooter is their pass-first point guard Steve Nash. Let's not forget that Nash is a part of the 50-40-90 club, and he's a really efficient shooter. That's 50% from the field, 40% from beyond the arc, and 90% from the line. We just don't see it so often, as Nash is a pass-first point guard, who is one of the best passers the game has ever seen, but is an underrated three-point shooter. The Thunder/Supersonics' best three-point shooter is no question Ray Allen, who is one of the best three-point shooters regardless of team. The Timberwolves' best three-point shooter is the 2022 three-point contest winner, and that's Karl-Anthony Towns. Cat certainly gets extra credit here for being a big man who could hit deep threes straight up without lurking at the three-point arc waiting for a pass to hit a three. This guy could just dribble up and shoot threes. As for the Trailblazers, check your clocks, it's Dame time, you know who I'm picking here. Who you can argue his shooting is closer to Steph Curry's than most would like to admit. He's probably a top 5 all-time three-point shooter in terms of pure skill and shooting off the dribble. He's pretty much Curry without the jewelry, if you think about it. At least so far. Maybe he wins a ring or two before he retires. Speaking of the Warriors' best three-point shooter, there's not much to say here, you know who goes here and why. The Wizards' best three-point shooter is Tim Legler. Tim won the three-point shootout in 1996 and shoots a career 43%, but in his best three-point shooting season, he shot 52% from beyond the arc, and during that 52% season, he attempted 3 threes a game, so this is not an outlier stat. So here is every NBA team's best all-time three-point shooter. Let me know what you think of this list and what type of videos you want to see in the future. Don't forget to dunk on that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'm Rebound Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.